Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Okay. Let's see this connected. Excellent. Alright, looks like everything is in working order. Alright, everyone, this is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control station for the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. We will begin in just a few minutes, so stand by, folks. Hello and welcome to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. My name is Kimberly, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar is my call sign, and my pronouns are she, her. I am your net control operator for this net. This is a roundtable, general discussion, and rag chew net, and all calls should go through the net control station. This net meets every Sunday at 2 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time. Before we begin, do we have any emergency or other priority traffic? If at any time there is an emergency, please say break, break, and we will assist you. This net is a safe place for members of the LGBTQIA plus community, as well as their allies, to hang out over the airwaves. This net, as well as the network it's hosted on, is open to all licensed amateur radio operators. No membership is necessary, and we also welcome third-party traffic as well. Speaking of memberships, the Pride Radio Group provides an inclusive environment for all to learn, experiment, and enjoy radio communications by encouraging, promoting, and supporting diversity with the wider radio community, sharing our experiences and learnings with the community, and celebrating and embracing Pride on the air. For more information about the Pride Radio Group and how to join, plus gain access to our Discord chat room, head on over to prideradio.group. That is prideradio.group. Or you can check out Victor Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf or Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf on QRZ. Membership is free and all are welcome, regardless of who you are and who you love. Unless you hate us, of course. This net is being relayed on the various nodes, talk groups, and reflectors of the Pride Radio Network and affiliated systems, including All-Star, Echolink, IRLP, DMR, YSF Reflector, WiresX, M17, NXDN, P25, and D-Star, as well as various RF repeaters around the world, and is also streamed live on YouTube via my YouTube channel by searching for my call sign, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, as well as Broadcastify and Icecast. For more information on how you can connect to this network, visit prideradionetwork.com. That is prideradionetwork.com. And finally, you can also track and follow this net by downloading NetLogger on Windows, Linux, or Mac OS from netlogger.org. That is netlogger.org. It's a fantastic piece of software, folks. You could just log in and see a list of call signs populate in real time and be able to follow along with the net. For Android users, you can download an app called Netscraper. That is Netscraper. And that provides read-only access to the NetLogger network. And I'm not sure what app is available for iPhone or related devices, but I'm pretty sure there's a app out there for them. Alrighty then, before we begin this evening's net, do we have any news, announcements, or other items of business for the net and the Pride Radio Group? Already hearing nothing. Let's take some check-ins for the net. Let's start off with mobile, short on time, and in and out stations. So if you're mobile, don't have much time, or if you just simply want to pop in for a quick hello, then pop out, please come now with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically. And if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar once again, and I will be standing by taking check-ins from mobile, short on time, and in and out stations. Alrighty, hearing nothing, let's open it up to anyone, anywhere. So, anyone, anywhere, if you'd like to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net, all I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically. And if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well.
November 4, November Yankee X-ray. Sarah here in she, her for pronouns. November 4, November Yankee X-ray.
Alrighty, November 4, November Yankee X-ray. I was almost beginning to think that maybe we wouldn't have a net at all because it was all quiet out there. Good to know that you're out there. Alright, do we have anybody else wishing to check in?
Victor Alpha 5, Echo Tango Hotel, Ethel, she, her, Victor Alpha 5, Echo Tango Hotel.
Alrighty, Ethel, Victor Alpha 5, Echo Tango Hotel, got you down. Anyone else out there?
Quebec Alpha, K9QA, Kilo 9, Quebec Alpha. Name is Mike, he, him.
Alright, Kilo 9, Quebec Alpha, welcome aboard. Anyone else out there? Alrighty, looks like we got these three fine stations, so we're gonna go ahead and toss it over to November 4, November Yankee X-ray, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Take it away, Sarah, and a big hello to you.
Yep. Sorry to give you a bit of a scare there at the start of the net. I almost never try to check in absolutely first to the net, just trying to avoid the pileup, but guess it's a bit of a quiet night tonight, so gave the call out there after about 5 seconds or so. This is November 4, November Yankee X-ray, passing that back up the net control.
Alright, yeah, I totally understand that part. But yeah, it is indeed a quiet night. Over to Victor Alpha 5, Echo Tango Hotel. Hello. KJ7OMO, take it away.
Hi, Victor Alpha 5, Echo Tango Hotel here. Hi. I think I missed most of last week's net, but that was because I was having issues with Qtel, but I managed to install Echolink through Wine on Linux, and it works fine. So, now I'm here. Hi, back to net control.
Alright, well, you're sounding pretty good over the Echolink network. Glad to know that you got it up and running. And, yeah, no worries. About last week or the week before. Yeah, don't sweat it. Things happen. Kilo 9, Quebec Alpha, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Hello and welcome. Looks like you're new to the net. Take it away. The mic is yours.
And thank you very much for having me. I've been seeing the notices pop up on Discord, the net reminders, and I finally put forth a little extra effort so I could remember to have everything ready to go when it came across my screen this time. So happy to be here, happy to be joining everyone, and I'll turn it back to you, KJ7OMO, K9QA.
Alrighty, K9QA KJ7OMO. Glad to have you here. Alright, we've reached the bottom of the list, so before I toss it back up to the top, is there anyone else out there wishing to join us and check into the net? All I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. Let's see who else is out there. Boy, it's a quiet night. I did blast a few notices out on Twitter and Facebook, so hopefully some of our ham radio friends will join us. We're going to go ahead and toss it back up to November 4, November Yankee X-Ray, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Yeah, if I were to brag a little bit this week, managed to start decoding EPRS packets off of International Space Station, so that's a little bit of fun, and especially considering I don't even quite have the proper antenna for that sort of stuff, nor a rotator, just using copper J-pole elevated about 30 feet like I do for normal FM, and seems to work somewhat all right. I mean, I can tell that I could probably get a bit of a stronger signal still, but the fact that I'm getting some decodes regardless, a little bit impressive to me. So I guess that kind of attests to the idea that any antenna is better than no antenna. Hi. We'll pass that back up the net there. This is November 4, November Yankee X-Ray.
Alrighty, November 4, November Yankee X-Ray, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Good stuff there. Congratulations on decoding packets from the space station. I've yet to decode anything digital coming out of the space station, but at least I managed to get into the space station repeater a few times and work a few stations. And even got a QSL card from one of them. So, yeah, it's a load of fun. Maybe if I had a dual band Yagi that I could just point straight up at that station, I might be able to maintain longer contacts on that thing. But, yeah, it's always fun bouncing signals back and forth between the space station. Kilo 9, Quebec Alpha, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, over to you.
Well, that's pretty excellent. I'd say that the most, it's pretty excellent. I'd say the most I ever managed to get from the space station so far is, I've decoded the slow scan a couple of times, but, when it comes to a lot of this stuff, I play analog mostly, sideband. So when it comes to some of the digital modes and things like that, I'm still behind the learning curve quite a bit. So it's pretty cool to hear about all of it, though. Back to you, K9QA.
KJ7OMO returning. Slow scan television from the space station. I've also yet to decode that too, but one of these days, if I ever get around to it, I want to get set up so I could try and decode from that. And for single sideband stuff, yeah, I'm usually on HF voice or HF digital. That's where I usually hang out at. But here lately I've been hanging out over internet connected links more often than I normally do. Alright, we're at the bottom of the list again, so let's take a poke out there and see if anybody else out there would like to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you like, you may give us your pronouns as well. Let's go ahead and shake that tree and see who else comes out of the woodwork. Alrighty, do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time? Please come now. Already hearing nothing, back up to November, Yankee X-Ray, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, I don't know, there's always more to ham radio to play with. I guess my interest in satellites recently is that I basically have every piece of recommended equipment to be able to do it, so, might as well train up on that capability and, actually do it sometime. The only reason I haven't done more previously is just, like I do have a, handheld dual band Yagi, but almost never get outside in time for satellite passes, so I don't know, it's a lower barrier to entry to just use base station antenna on the house and get something through than make a whole deal of getting a radio and Yagi out into the backyard or up on the roof or something like that. Hi. The net control is N4NYX.
Alrighty, KJ7OMO net control station returning. Yeah, those satellites seem to only want to pass by when it's inconvenient for us at the moment. Funny how that works. I did made an attempt to build a dual band Yagi, but, well, that failed quite miserably. Maybe I did something wrong. I don't know what I did, but it sure as heck didn't work out. I might try it again now, if I can ever get my hands on better materials. We're going to toss it back to VA5 ETH KJ7OMO.
VA5 ETH here. Yeah, on like antennas and stuff. I've actually had some success here. I attached my feed line to my gutter, and that actually is giving me pretty good results for just general purpose receiving on my SDR. I've also been decoding SSTV signals, and today I was able to decode one from Georgia, USA, which is like over 2,000 miles from where I am, so that's pretty cool, I guess. Back to net control.
Alrighty, KJ7OMO returning. Not too bad for a rain gutter antenna. You might be able to stick a balun on that and load it up as a transmit antenna and get something out of that. I mean, you never know. I mean, all you need is that thing I mentioned, and also an antenna tuner, and yeah, you might be able to work the world with that. All I got for an HF at the moment is just a random wire and a CB antenna, which doesn't work very well. So the random wire is my best bet for my best one for HF. Over to K9QA, KJ7OMO.
So there's definitely a lot of fun in that. You can make an antenna out of just about anything. I'm fortunate enough to have quite a few nice-sized trees in the yard, so I got a lot of wire hanging all around the place. But I think one of the first QSOs I ever had, though, was on 10 meters. Got a guy down in Florida who was telling me about back in the day he used to load up the ladder on the back of his RV and talk around the world on that. So, like you said, if the sunspots are right, you can make just about anything work as long as you can tune it to a match. So. Building antennas is a lot of fun. That's part of what drove me into this. I've had a lot of fun doing it for building different things for POTA and stuff like that. My most recent favorite is I made a little random wire with a 9-to-1 balun on it, and that has worked out really well for me out in the field. Very happy with its performance, and now it's getting to be a little cool to get out to the parks around this area now. Probably squandered the last couple of nice days we had these past 2 days sitting around the house, but oh well, there'll be time for more activations later. Back to net, K9QA.
Yeah, copy that. One time when my previous long wire antenna collapsed from high winds, I loaded up this, how do I explain it? Basically, inside this old abandoned house that hasn't been used in over 20 years. It's all crumbly, but inside the walls, there's this chicken wire mesh. So I decided, maybe I could load that up. So I clamped some, what do you call it? Those battery jumper cables used to jumpstart a vehicle. Well, I clamped one end onto the house, the other end onto my balun. And, well, what do you know? It actually functioned as an HF antenna. And, well, I didn't get much out of it. It was really difficult working stations with it. But when I tried it on Whisper, I was actually able to be heard all the way in Antarctica using the old abandoned home as an antenna. That's so amazing. And then, not too long after that, probably within hours, it dawned on me that there's this random wire dangling off a utility pole. This wire has not been hooked up to anything in probably 20 years. So I decided, well, I'll hook my balun up to that and see what happens. And, well, what do you know? It functioned extremely well as a antenna that could tune 160 meters all the way up to 12 meters and a small part of 10 meters. And I'm like, all right, this is going to be my antenna for a while. And I even talked to somebody who literally loaded up an entire bridge as an antenna. I kid you not. They actually loaded a bridge as an antenna. And it worked quite well for them. All right. We're at the bottom of the list, so let's see if we have anybody else out there wishing to check in. All I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, and I will be standing by for more check-ins. Come on, people, don't be shy. Pick up your mics and say hi. And spit out your call signs, of course. Hi, hi. Do we have anybody else wishing to check in at this time? it's all crickets at this time. So back over to November 4, November Yankee X-ray, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
You know, after hearing about success with a gutter antenna, I might end up putting SDR and an up converter onto my own gutter here, simply out of I don't know, I guess wanting to cheap out on adding another antenna to the backyard and the coax for that and everything else. Well, I suppose nothing stops me from swapping antennas into the SDR, but if I wanted any sort of simultaneous SDR receive while transmitting, then I don't know, it would be kind of neat to have dedicated SDR up and running with a gutter antenna that I'm not otherwise using to transmit, so that might be an idea there. Short little run of coax from shack to the downspout and hi. Either way, inspiration, I suppose. This is N4NYX, passing that back up to net control.
KJ7OMO returning, and speaking of loading up the ladders as an antenna, in a pinch I might try that one of these days, since I do have a ladder on the back of my motorhome. VA5 ETH KJ7OMO.
Victor Alpha 5, Echo Tango Hotel here. Yeah, I've actually kind of have a question. For a balun, like, or whatever, where do I attach it, and like, what should it, like, what ratio should it be, like 49:1, or what? Back to net control.
Alrighty, Victor Alpha 5, Echo Tango Hotel, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Well, ratio of the balun would depend on what antenna you're using. If you're using just a plain ordinary dipole, then a 1-to-1 would be fine. But if you're using something weird like an off-center PID dipole or some other weird antenna, then maybe you'll need a 4-to-1. And for long wires, well, you could get by with a 9-to-1, but I heard that it's better to use a 49-to-1 for long wires. All I got at the moment is a 9-to-1 on the wire I'm using, and it's working okay. I mean, it does tune all the bands. But I may switch that up to a 49-to-1 and see if I can get better tuning on the bands that I hang out at the most, especially on 10 meters, because I would love to get the entirety of 10 meters on that wire instead of just a tiny bit of 29 megahertz. So yeah, again, a balun to use, it depends entirely on what antenna you're using and how you want to configure it. I lost my train of thought, sorry. We'll toss it over to K9QA, Kilo 9 Quebec Alpha, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar.
K9QA, picking it up. Yeah, so that's, I'll echo that. I've got a Delta loop that has I think it's about 120 ohm impedance, but I put a 4-to-1 balun on it, and that gets it multi-banded for me. And then that's something I found out too. I had bought a 9-to-1 balun, and the thought process of building an end-fed half-wave antenna, and I started researching a little bit and found out, as you stated, that the 49-to-1 is going to work a little better for that. but the 9-to-1 is good for a random wire. So that's why I ended up cutting. The wire's about 53 foot long-ish, something like that. And then the balun connects right between your coax and the wire itself. So, and then on the dipole I have up is a 1-to-1. So it's your ratio depends on the impedance of your wire and whatever you found online to read about. For at least in my case, baluns are definitely something that I'm still working on learning more about. I want to try and start wrapping some of my own toroids and things like that, and rather than see if I can't save a buck that way too on a few antennas, and I don't know, just try to take it to the next step and building the stuff for the field. I have a lot of fun doing it, so yeah, anything I can learn more is always better. So back to net, KJ7 OMO K9QA.
Alrighty, KJ7OMO returning. Ham radio is definitely a learning experience. There's just so much to learn. My goodness. Lots to do, lots to learn. Alrighty, everyone. Now we're at the bottom of the list once again, so let's see if we have anyone else wishing to join and check in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. KJ7OML standing by for anybody who wishes to check in. Already, it is all crickets, still crickets. Huh, very quiet out there. N4, NYX, KJ7OMO, over to you.
The ladder antenna is kind of a funny idea. Kind of just imagining someone doing a parks on the air with like a 20 feet folding ladder just hanging outside their tent or something at a national park. That'd be kind of a funny. Allegedly could work. And then when it comes to balance and whatnot, with Ethel's gutter antenna, it's kind of hard to know what balun would exactly work in that, since the general guidance is based off of some of the common antenna types, like 1-to-1 for a dipole or 49-to-1 for a NFED, etc. But without understanding more what a gutter antenna more so approximates and what its characteristic impedance is, it's kind of hard to know what balun would get the job done in that instance. I would assume it more approximates a NFED the way that I think it's set up, but I don't know, it's kind of hard to know in those instances of using random object as an antenna. Those antenna tuners where you can dial in the impedance capacitive match, much better idea for that, I think. Or could also get a nano VNA and actually test for characteristic impedance and try adjusting with the data that gives. But yeah, kind of hard to know in that instance. This is November 4, November Yankee X-ray, passing it back up to net control.
Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Yeah, the gutter systems, I would probably treat it as any ordinary end-fed random wire. Personally, anyways, that's how I would treat them. I think their characteristics are just very similar to that. But yeah, regardless, you'll still need a balun and a antenna tuner, both, in order to get the thing to work. But yeah. We're gonna go ahead and toss it over to Victor Alpha 5, Echo Tango Hotel, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Victor Alpha 5, Echo Tango Hotel. Yeah, so like, it's probably just more of a case of experimenting, I'd say, because since I don't really know exactly its characteristics and stuff, it'd probably be a more trial and error thing, would you say? Yeah, I don't know. I'm also thinking I should, at some point, upgrade the SDR, because this one's kind of not the greatest for HF, and every other band seems to be, at least around here, kind of dead at all times. So, yeah, back to net control.
Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, net control station, returning. Well, yeah, that's pretty much what ham radio, one of the things that ham radio is about. You go through trial and error and figure out what works best. And that's pretty much what I've did when I initially put my setup together. Let's toss it back over to Kilo 9, Quebec Alpha, KJ70MO.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got an SDR that I've played around with every now and then too. Like I said, when it comes to starting to integrate more and more of the computers and the digital stuff, I get a little lost, but some of the things I've seen done is so absolutely cool. So, like you said, it's all about learning. So, find the tutorials, find the people to ask questions, and that's march forward till you figure it out. So that's always fun. And that's on the list of things to figure out too. It looks like something much easier to carry around than the antenna analyzer I have right now. It works well. Love the thing. It's a bit of a lug. So if I could find something that fit in my pocket and I could get out and use, that would be great. So so the Nano VNA is on the list of things to check out in that regard too. So, but this is wonderful. It's great hearing y'all. So kick it back around in that control. Kilo 9, Quebec Alpha.
Yes, absolutely. A Nano VNA is a must-have, and I absolutely have one. It's a pretty darn good tool. I mean, sure, it's not as good as a $5,000 piece of equipment that analyzes antennas, but it does get pretty darn close. I mean, it's close enough to get you acceptable results on whatever antenna that you're analyzing or putting together or whatever. So yeah, it is a very good tool and to have, and you could easily throw it in a go bag or, like you said, in your pocket, and away you go. It's a really neat piece of thing, and in a pinch, you could also use the Nano VNA as a VFO for something, albeit not a perfect one. It's real awkward to use as a VFO, but you can use it as a VFO for something. Just one of the many things you can do with that thing. All right, we're at the bottom of the list again, so let's see who else is out there wishing to check in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically. And if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. This is KJ7OMO, and let's see if anybody else is out there. All right, do we have anyone else out there wishing to check in at this time? Let's shake that tree even harder and see who falls off of it. Hi. Anyone, anywhere, if you'd like to check in, please come now. Alright, well either they've got super strong arms hanging onto that tree real good, or maybe nobody's on that tree. We'll shake another tree in a bit and see who falls off of it. But for right now, let's kick it back up to N4 NYX KJ7OMO. Take it away.
Yeah, the Nano VNA is a really decent kit, especially for the price point, compared to other amateur antenna analyzers in the couple $100 range. My personal experience is that it's a bit of an obtuse tool in some ways, since it's meant for, not specifically antenna tuning, and reading the Smith chart that it tries to give you out of the box is definitely a bit of a challenge. I was at a ham fest where they were giving a presentation. I sat in on that, and I'm still not quite sure I have my head wrapped completely around it. Hi. But yeah, it definitely still gives you you are over the frequency domain and whatnot that you'd need to get is finely tuned for the bands that you want, and yeah, for the price point, really can't complain one way or another. This is November 4, November Yankee X. We're passing it back up the net control.
KJ7OMO returning, and I shall echo that statement. For the price, you can't really go wrong. It's a pretty cheap thing, and me personally, I only use it just as a quick way of checking SWR and also seeing what bands the whatever antenna I'm hooked up to or resident on, and that's pretty much all I do with it. I mean, one time I used it as an emergency VFO for my boat anchor until I was able to receive a signal generator for that purpose. Yeah, it's just a versatile tool. All right, we're gonna kick it over to VA5ETH KJ7OMO.
VA5ETH here. Yeah, I've heard about the Nano VNA, and I thought, down the line be kind of a cool tool to have. I'm always looking to add more like test equipment and tools to my lineup in my bedroom lab sort of setup. Currently I have a small soldering iron, I have a couple multimeters, and a couple probes, and that's about it. And I always like having more tools for my lineup. Yeah, back to net control.
KJ7OMO returning. Another nifty tool to have is a coaxial cable stretcher, right? You could take like a 10-foot length of coax and stretch it up to like maybe 30, 40, 50 feet. I'm only kidding. I'm just being silly. No such thing exists. K9QA KJ7OMO.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, y'all have me convinced. I'm gonna look into the VNA has made the short list for the next bit of kit. So that's great. And yeah, the coaxial stretcher. It sounds like you find that right next to the fan conditioning spray. When propagation's down, just give a spritz in the air. So that's great. That and the magic smoke. So I'll pass it back to Net now. K9QA.
Oh yeah, and don't forget the SWR grease. You slather that stuff on and you get instant 1-to-1 across the entire band. I sure wish something like that existed. Alright, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's see if we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time. All I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. Come on, folks, don't be shy. Pick up your mics and say hi to us. Come on. Let's make this more fun and interesting. KJ7 almost standing by for more check-ins. Alrighty, nothing heard at this time, so back over to November 4, November Yankee X-Ray, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Kind of struggling to think what to say on this specific round. I mean, I suppose I need to start playing with my Nano VNA a little bit more. Have barely used it, have barely changed any of the settings out of the box, and maybe if I actually use it a bit more and learn to use it, it'd feel a little bit less obtuse. But it's worked in a pinch for validating a few homebrew antennas before, so definitely can't complain there. But yeah, there's a little bit of a learning curve, I suppose. We'll toss that back up to net control in the group. This is November 4, November Yankee X-Ray.
Alrighty, KJ7 Alma returning, and for all new Nano VNA owners out there, make sure you calibrate your units before actually using it. A calibration kit is included, and there are some YouTube videos out there that explain how to do it, though there is one in particular that explains in really good detail how the entire process works and would get you more stuff calibrated than what some of the other videos out there explain. Alright, VA5 ETH KJ7 OMO.
VA5ETH here. Yeah, I don't know, looking for just general equipment that would be helpful for the hobby, and I know there's the Nano VNA, but like, what else is a probably good idea to have or get later? Yeah, back to net control.
Huh, good question. I'm not sure. I guess more radios? Maybe stuff to check power, I guess, or maybe stuff for soldering, I don't know. Maybe more radios. Did I say that again? K9QA, KJ7OMO.
Well, more radios are always a good thing. Yeah, well, outside of like Nano VNA or some kind of antenna analyzer, that was one of the first things that I found really useful that I got was actually an antenna tuner. And the first one I ran was just I bought it used off of Facebook, an old MFJ, just manual tuner, not one of the fancy LDG auto ones. Just hit the button and she dials her in for you. You learn a little bit more about how it all works, and it's a little bit cheaper. And honestly, once you know where to put all the settings and twist all the knobs, you just make notes for whatever band. So I'd say an antenna tuner is definitely a handy thing to have in the shack, right after the antenna analyzer. That and some good wire strippers. For power cords and for splicing coax and all that stuff. Those all the little things you realize that you should have bought better tools for. Sometimes it's worth an extra few bucks for some good wire strippers. That's all that comes to mind at the moment. That and a giant spool of wire and a giant spool of paracord, so you can get that wire up high in a tree. And then some rocks to tie it to the paracord so you can get it higher in the tree. But that's what I got at the moment. Go back to net, K9QA.
Yeah, KJ7OMO returning. Yeah, antenna tuner is a must-have for sure, and generally, once you figure out the right settings, then all you would need to do is just make small adjustments, as you tune your radio across the band so that you always get that perfect one-to-one or almost one-to-one match, or as close to it as possible anyways. I do notice that once in a while, as things shift around, like wind blows the antenna around or something, and it shifts to shifts itself to a slightly different spot, I notice that the characteristics change a little bit, so I have to constantly figure out the new settings, because, well, yeah. But in general, but it usually stays within the general, area that area of the thing that tunes, or what, if that makes sense. All right, we're at the bottom of the list, so do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time? KJ7OMO standing by.
BK3JD.
Oh my goodness, Tony. Oh my god, it's about time you showed up. I was wondering where you were. Do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time? All I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. Alrighty, VK3, JED, KJ7OMO, take it away.
Yeah, g'day Kimberly, and I'm not too sure who else is there. You're the only one I've heard so far. Yeah, just got back from the club coffee morning, about a quarter of an hour ago, and then got in the tail end of a QSO that was happening on Simplex locally on 2 metres, and I could see the activity, so I knew the net was on, but yeah, just catching up. Maybe a chance to get some fox hunting happening at the local club. I thought I'd pursue that possibility while the topic was there, and then come across here once we'd all signed off. So yeah, good morning. We had about a dozen, a bit of coffee and a lot of chat, and a bit of a minor road trip, half an hour down the road to the next town. Anyway, that's where I've been and why I've been late. KJ7OMO, and I don't know who else is there, VK3JD.
Alright, VK3JED, KJ7OMO returning. Alright, fine business. Sounds like you had a lot of fun. At the moment, we have November 4, November Yankee X-Ray, Victor Alpha 5, Echo Tango Hotel, Kilo 9 Quebec Alpha, and now you. So those are the stations that we have on board at the moment. And we're going to go ahead and toss it back up to the first one that I read on that list, N4NYX KJ7OMO.
So for this round, if I were to chime in about recommended equipment and in what order, I'd say Nano VNA can definitely do some benefits for the receive only and figuring out how to match your antenna. Kind of hard to use a antenna tuner unless you have a transmit capable rig that you can send a signal on through to the antenna to measure that reflected power. Yeah, definitely a bit of a thing to strategize there with the acquisition of equipment, but yeah, Nano VNA wouldn't be a bad thing to start off with for the homebrew antennas, even if receive only. This is November 4, November Yankee X-Ray, passing it back up to net control in the group.
Alright, KJ7OMO returning, and if you're into doing things like fixing your own radios or even making your own radios or working on other electronic projects or whatever, then I would definitely recommend having a signal generator and also an oscilloscope, or oscilloscope rather, oscilloscope. I keep saying it wrong. Handy with you, as well as your basic multimeter for testing things like voltages or whatnot. So yeah, those two things are definitely other things you can look at getting, though those aren't really high priority things if you're mainly just wanting to check your antenna and talk on the radio, and that's it. But yeah, I think that's it for me for right now, so we'll toss it over to Victor Alpha 5, Echo Tango Hotel, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. And I'm about ready to sneeze.
Victor Alpha 5, Echo Tango Hotel. Yeah, so, yeah, I don't really want to deal out the big amount of money for a rig right now, and yeah, I think that Nano VNA would be really useful to just get better results from my current antenna, and anything else I might want to do to experiment with receiving. So yeah, that's helpful, I guess. Back to net control.
Alright, we need to get out of this tangent about Nano VNAs, seriously. Alright, KJ7OMO returning. Not much to say at this time, so we'll toss it straight over to K9QA.
Well, I haven't much more to add beyond what we covered in terms of handy first time things to get in the shack there. But yeah, it's everyone stammer. So But I'll say I've switched subject a bit. I'll say hi to Tony there. Good to hear you again. I think last time we talked, I had a different call sign, Kilo Delta 9, Mike Delta Oscar, and it was a few years ago. I've since upgraded and changed my call sign, but it's good to be back on the net with everyone. So I'll go ahead and pass it back up to you, Kimberly. Kilo 9, Quebec Alpha.
All right, K9QA, KJ7OMO returning. We'll toss it straight over to VK3JED, KJ7OMO. Take it away, Tony.
Yeah, fine, Kimberly, and yeah, congratulations on the upgrade. K9QA, the one who makes sure all the dogs are of good condition, the dog quality assurance. Yeah, that's the first thing that came to mind when I heard that call sign. But yeah, good to have you back on the net. So, and getting on to the previous topic, yeah, I think those various bits of equipment that were listed, sort of all good to have, and dummy load, of course, and yeah, various patch leads and a separate power supply for testing, etc., etc. And the other important one, I'm going to go out of left field here, is don't forget the bit of equipment between your ears. Yeah, learn, because the more you learn, the more you'll be able to and diagnose. And yeah, so yeah, always make it a process of learning. So yeah, lots of things to consider. And yeah, it was good fun this morning. Actually, speaking of homebrew, one of the guys that was there this morning had built his own 2-metre FM rig from a kit. Works really well. Had it running at the club, but then on the way home he set it up in the car, and we were chatting to him all the way back. It works well. So yeah, homebrew is definitely not dead. KJ7OMO with the group VK3JD.
VK3JED, KJ7OMO returning. A dummy load. Of course, I cannot believe that we forgot about the all-important dummy load that lets you test your equipment without the need to put an antenna on it. Well, brief tests anyways. And you of course, got to let the dummy load cool off before you do any more extended testing. But yeah, a dummy load is a very important piece of thing to have. And yes, the equipment between your ears is also very important for learning. All right. We're at the bottom of the list again, so let's see if we could snag any more folks out there from the void. All I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. Let's see if who else is out there wishing to check in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. Alrighty, do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in? KJ7OMO standing by. Alrighty, back to N4NYX KJ7OMO.
Yep, this is November 4, November Yankee X-ray. International Space Station is up for me right now, so I'm trying to get something through there at the current moment while listening in, so we'll toss that back up to net control in the group. This is N4NYX.
Alrighty, good luck, and hopefully you get something from the space station. VA5ETH, KJ7OMO.
Victor Alpha 5 Echo Tango Hotel here. I don't really have anything to say, and also, I think I'm gonna check out here. I'm not feeling too great. Yeah, it was nice being here while, I could, but, yeah, I'm not feeling very good, so I'm gonna take my leave here.
Alrighty, Victor Alpha 5 Echo Tango Hotel, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar. Alrighty, well, you have a good one, and hope you feel better soon. 3373, and we'll see you next time. K9QA, KJ7OMO.
Symmetry VA5ETH. It was great to meet you. Great to chat a little bit. And yeah, quality assurance is one I hear a lot. It wasn't one I thought of when I first grabbed the call. I was thinking questions and answers. And it sounds cool on CW, which I'm still working on. But making sure all the dogs look good, I appreciate that. So, I haven't much else, so back around the net, K9QA.
Alrighty, no problem, and I don't have any comments at this time, so Victor Kilo 3, Juliet Echo Delta, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Yeah, well, when I see the letter K and the number 9, yeah, dogs are the first thing that come to mind. And, yeah, same with QA, quality assurance. So, yeah, we thought it was a natural fit, and, yeah, it would be a good one on CW. But, yeah, that's something I'm not sure when I'll get around to. It is on the list of things I'd like to do, but I've got to be in the right headspace. There is actually a practice session at the club this afternoon, but yeah, it's a bit late in the day for me. Doesn't start till 4 o'clock, only gives me an hour at most before I sort of got to disappear. So, yeah, if they could bring it a little early, like if it started about now, it would be really good. Or even 3 o'clock wouldn't be too bad. That'll give you a couple of hours of playing lost. But yeah, got to be in the right environment. It's yeah, the downside of my makeup is not real good for sit down activities. But yeah, I have a lot of admiration for those that do use CW regularly and are proficient at it. And I have watched some really good CW operators contesting, and yeah, that's just magic to watch. Yeah, it's definitely a skill to possess. So one day, perhaps. But of course, you can't do to everything. And yeah, as for dummy loads, if it's got enough power rating, my repeater's been running into the same dummy load for a couple of years, only at 5 watts, but the dummy load's rated at least 25 continuous, and at 5 watts it barely gets warm, so it can do that till the cows come home. Yeah, just got the alligator on the radio here. Yeah, sorry to hear you're not so well, Ethel. Take care. I was just thinking when you said, just before you said that, you weren't sounding your normal self. And yeah, I wonder how the ISS went. I saw something pop up on Discord, but I'm only looking at the watch for Sarah, so you'll have to tell us next time around. KJ7OMO with the group VK3JD.
KJ7OMO returning. Well, my Wires X node is connected to a 300 watt dummy load, but the node itself is set to 5 watts. So I think it could. I think it can. It could run continuously until pigs fly. And I think it'll be okay. Hopefully, anyways. I mean, it's been alright so far. Alrighty, we're at the bottom of the list, so do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? All I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control station, standing by for more check-ins. Alrighty, nothing heard. We all encourage all of our scanner listeners to go get your ham radio licenses if you'd like to join in on the fun. Alright, N4NYX KJ7OMO.
I heard Tony mention what I was doing with satellite space station passes and whatnot. Not sure what I can answer to there specifically, but this last pass was interesting. Managed to decode stations from Texas, Georgia, Maryland, Ohio, and New York. So I don't know. Still surprisingly a decent success. Given that I'm not out there with the Yagi or anything like that. I suppose I do need to look more into how to actually encode my packets, and I don't know, it seems like I'm not quite fitting in with the crowd on the actual packet formatting, but details to be sorted soon. We'll toss that back up to net control in the group. This is N4NYX.
Alrighty, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Well, hey, that's still a pretty darn good success. I mean, I would call it a success because you managed to decode a few things from the space station. And if I'm not feeling too lazy, I might try and do that one of these days. K9QA KJ7OMO. Kilo 9 Quebec Alpha, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar. We might have lost Kilo 9 Quebec Alpha. We'll call him again in a little bit. Victor Kilo 3, Juliet Echo Delta, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar.
Yeah, looks like we've lost one. Hopefully he'll come back. And yeah, it's not a bad day. A little bit cooler than yesterday. Yesterday was beautiful, lovely warm day. But cooled off a bit. We're going to get a couple of cool days, and it looks like warm up towards next weekend. The sun's nice though. I was going to come back on the FT818, and then I realised I've got it hooked up to a bigger antenna for because I was on Simplex before, and this frequency is on the edge of the ATV channel. I thought, yeah, there's probably someone using ATV now. I don't want to QRM the repeater, so I'll not transmit on the better antenna, even though it's only 2.5 watts. Still, best not to risk it. I'll swap that across to the rubber duck next time around. And well, you've had some success there, Sarah. More than I've done. I haven't actually got around to trying ISS packet. I suppose I should at some stage. And then work out what I've got to do to get the packets in myself. Yeah, I'll again. That's probably going to have to wait till after the move, because the packet stations currently receive only. I can't physically. I've got all the facilities. So just hang on a sec. Yeah, you've got all the facilities to transmit, software, hardware interfaces, etc. But I physically can't get behind everything in the current shack to actually install the cabling required to key the PTT. So that will be part of the rebuild at the new house, will be to make sure I've got transmit capability for packet, which would be good. That'd be very nice to have. That reminds me, I've got a desk to clean up. It's been protected from the elements, but it's picked up a bit of dust. So yeah, I should clean that up so I can transport that and put it straight in. I've got to take a bit of stuff over probably later next week, and I can include that in one of the trailer loads. Thinking out loud, so I'll pass it around. KJ7OMO with the group, VK3JD, enjoying the sun.
VK3JED, KJ7OMO returning. Yes, while you're basking out in the sun, we are in darkness at the moment, and well, we're not technically freezing our butts off. I mean, it's well above freezing, but I'm still gonna call it freezing my butt off anyway, because yeah, for me it feels just like that. And yeah, QRMing the adjacent channel is not a good idea. I mean, sure, 2.5 watts ain't much, but on a really good antenna with really high gain, well, you might get the same results as maybe a 50 watt or 100 watt or 200 watt into anything else. So yeah. Probably probably good to, yeah, not throw that out into the air. All right. Not much else to say, so let's see if we have anybody else out there wishing to check in. All I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. Who else is out there wishing to check in? KJ7OMO standing by. It's all crickets. N for NYX KJ7OMO.
Yep, this is November 4, November Yankee X-ray. When it comes to my packet or APRS setup, just doing direwolf hooked in via the Yaesu's digital input, and it's working pretty alright, honestly. And also had the sanity check that I'm actually sending out a clean signal, and it looks like the Earth stations are at least happy enough to keep my stuff. So we'll have to see one of these times when I get a signal through the ISS, and maybe one day get onto FM voice on the satellites, but that's been rather intimidating since the exchange is rather fast-paced on those. But who knows, maybe I just need to expose myself a little bit more to it. This is N4NYX, passing it back to net control in the group.
Alrighty, KJ7OMO returning. No comment at this time, so we're gonna see if Kilo 9 Quebec Alpha is back with us. Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar.
Hopefully I am. I'm not sure what happened last time, but I finished talking and apparently I wasn't. But I haven't much else to add, but here, stick around another round just so I could say goodbye in 73 to everyone. It's time for me to hang it up, but it's been an absolute pleasure, and I hope to make a better habit out of this and catch you all in the next one. So 73 and take care. This is K9QA.
Alrighty, K9QA, KJ7OMO returning. Alright, well, 7-3 to you, and thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us. And you're more than welcome to stop by anytime, net or not, and you're welcome to join us on all future nets. We're always here on Sundays at 2 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time, or Saturday evenings in the U.S. And we'll go ahead and mark you out as being checked out. VK3 JED KJ7OMO.
Oh, yeah, have to swap radios. I've still got a repeater offset on. Yeah, I just know it's the frequency I was transmitting on. Just make sure I got it. Yeah, looks like I got it. Yeah, so I had to swap back. I was going to come up on the yeah, so let's change that. Yeah, it's going to come up on the Yaesu, but yeah, got a repeater offset. So there, that will be. Yeah. Try that again. Okay. Anyway, how to drive it. I thought oh, yeah, that's what it is. Why is that not working? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's the function's not working the way I expected it. Unless I've got to hold a button down, I'll play. Just directly. Yeah, not a huge amount to add. Yeah, I'm running dial as well. It's currently configured as a receive-only iGate. But yeah, I'll, as I want to get everything in the new shack, I'll then work on getting transmit up and running. But yeah, I can't do that here. So that's yet another project for the new shack. There's going to be a lot happening. And yeah, it looks like I probably won't be on next week. I'm going to be out with a friend. He's doing his second 10k run, and I'll be driver and moral support. Anyway, KJ7OMO, the group BK3JZ.
Alrighty, VK3JED KJ7OMO returning. Not a problem. And by the way, in the beginning you had some microphone feedback noises from your transmission, and you also had this really loud buzzing noise in your background as well. Sounded like a harmonic of 50 hertz. Anyways, but yeah, I just wanted to let you know real quick. Okay, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's see who else is out there wishing to check in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. KJ7OMO standing by for anybody wishing to check in. Alrighty, do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time? KJ7OMO standing by. Alright, nothing heard. I would ping Jared to check in, but unfortunately their license is expired. Oh no. November 4, November, Yankee X-Ray, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Yeah, I can definitely understand Tony's thing about if you're gonna move the shack and everything, that'd be the time to get some stuff reconfigured. I suppose that's one of the reasons I kind of like that I have my stuff set up in this sort of Go box configuration, is that I can take it basically anywhere, and all the same adapters, wires, Raspberry Pi to run all the digital. It's all the same no matter where I take it. So I suppose it's a little bit more of a chore to take it apart and mess around with any cables if I need to. Hopefully I have everything set up in a way that I don't need to go fess around in the rat's nest that is the inside of the Go box anytime soon. Hi. We'll toss that back up to Net Control in the group. This is November 4, November Yankee X-Ray.
Alrighty, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. We're gonna toss the mic over to VK3JED.
I thought K9QA was having one more before he went.
Oh, sorry about that. I thought he was fully checking out. K9QA, KJ7OMO, did you wanted to give out another transmission? Already, doesn't look like it. Back over to you, Tony.
Yeah, I'll take that as a no. And yeah, it's just the shack at the moment has sort of a lot of awkwardness, and it's just sort of put together in the only available space, which is very limited, and things are packed a bit tighter together than I'd like. So yeah, that's the root cause of the problem. Yeah, I'll be able to spread things out a bit more and be able to get behind computers and radios a bit more in the new setup. So yeah, so I've only got to put up with the old for a while. I am on the 818 now. I've got the offset turned off, so that's all good, all selected, and on Simplex. So sharing the load around with the various different radios. I don't have a lot to add either. So yeah, I'll probably just stick around another round and then call it quits myself. KJ7OMO with the group. VK3JD.
Alright, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Yeah, it sounds like it's just the three of us, and I highly doubt we're gonna get more, but you never know. Let's see if we have anybody else out there wishing to join us. KJ7OMO standing by. Alright, do we have anybody else out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? Alright, N4NYX KJ7OMO.
You know, also on the APRS or packet radio topic, one of these days I need to figure out how to use the Kenwood D72 that I have that has the built-in modem and everything. It's kind of a shame. I spent a decent penny on that radio, and I haven't really utilized it to much of the potential other than put it in my bag and have it beacon APRS when I've been to a couple of ham fests. But I don't know, definitely seems like something that would be worth figuring out how to use a little bit more as well. This is N4NYX, tossing it back out to the group.
Alright, KJ7OMO. Don't have much to say, so, VK3JED, the mic is yours, KJ7OMO.
Yeah, can't help you that one, unfortunately, Sarah. I've never owned any of the Kenwood APRS capable radios. Would have loved one. Yeah, they're very nice. All of them have been, by all accounts, been very nice radios. But yeah, never owned one, so yeah, can't help you use that to its potential. But yeah, definitely be a good one to do so with. There's a lot you can do with them, and yeah, it'd be a shame not to make use of it. So hopefully there's someone that can help with that, help get you on the road, and because you got the Direwolf set up, you should be able to easily test between the two and see if you can't make them talk to each other. But yeah, and you get on the voice satellites as well. You do have to be a bit sharp and on your toes, but they can be good fun too. Also a little bit of antenna gain in the form of a handheld Yagi can work wonders as well, like the Arrow antennas if you want something commercially built. Or plenty of homebrew designs out there, so plenty of choice. Anyway, on that note, I'll say 7-3. As I said a few overs ago, there's a fair chance I may not be on the net. It just depends what time I get back, but I may or may not be on the net on Sunday next week, because I could be in transit back from the northeast suburbs of Melbourne, where a friend's having his second 10k race, and uncharacteristically I'm the spectator this time. If it was winter, I'd be doing a 5, but this time of year I don't do distance, so yeah, I'll be purely supporting spectator. So 7-3 all, and we'll catch you all on Discord, KJ7OMO, the group VK3JED.
Alrighty, not a problem. Anyways, it's great talking with you as always, and thanks for stopping by, and 7-3 to you, and have fun with the spectating next week. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and put out a final call here. Do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in? If no responses this time, then I will call it a net. Anyone, anywhere, all I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for check-ins. Alrighty, do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in? KJ7 OMO, standing by. It looks like somebody on Facebook might possibly see my, might possibly be checking in, not sure, so, we'll go ahead and, not make this the final, but we'll see if, we'll give that person, enough time to make up their mind if they want to check in or not. For right now, November 4, November Yankee X-Ray, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. N4 NYX KJ7 OMO. Already, nothing heard. Alright, well, it doesn't look like that person is responding on Facebook, so we're gonna put one final call. This is absolutely the final call. Absolutely final call. Do we have anybody else out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? All I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, your pronouns as well. KJ7OMO, standing by for more check-ins. Alright, this is the last opportunity to check in. Anybody, anywhere, if you'd like to check in, now is the time. KJ7OMO standing by for more check-ins to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. Alright, going once, going twice. One more time. Anybody, anywhere, if you'd like to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for check-ins. I'm gonna make this the last call here. Alrighty, that's it. Check-ins are now closed for this week. N4 NYX KJ7OMO, are you still with us? Alrighty, it looks like we lost Sarah. I normally will give folks 3 chances to come back before I check them out, but since I'm the only one here now, I'm gonna go ahead and end the net. and call it a wrap. If you're still hearing me, Sarah 3373, and thanks for stopping by and listening and hanging out with us on the net as always. I would like to thank everyone for participating and having fun on this net. I also would like... Oh, never mind the repeater thanks part, since the repeater systems are offline, so let me skip that part of the script, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. I would like to thank VK3JED and VK2WAY, as well as the rest of the Pride Radio group for making this net possible. I now return all frequencies, repeaters, and other systems back to their abnormal abuse. I mean normal amateur use. 732 all from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar, and I will be standing by monitoring. This net is now closed. Alright, YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream right here. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring that bell, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, y'all! 7-3 from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar.